Hi, Sirisha. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Just give me a second. Let me connect to Mahesh. Give me 2 minutes, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you. He's connecting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Mahesh. Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you.
I'm doing good. While could you quickly introduce yourself with specific to the project, and if you give me a brief introduction about the way how you started your career with the education qualifications,
Okay.
that would be better.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. My name is and I do have total 5.8 years experience. And with Power BI and SQL, I worked in various field like various project like sales, insurance, banking, HR, and my last project was into medical domain. And I have started my career in I have handled multiple projects there like sales, insurance, banking. My may like mostly I have handled the HR projects there, and I worked there until 2023. In 2023 October, I have joined. I have worked medical domain. It was a healthcare project. So my last project was basically based on the Netherlands based client. So they were into manufacturing of medical equipment, so they were specifically into neuro and sensory. So we were building an analytical solution that gives insight about the performance of like licensing of the software, risk analysis, security of the application. For that I was using the import mode, and the data source was SQL, Jira, and the GitHub. And for the KPI, we were showing high, medium, and low performance for the Black Duck and Coverity. So Black Duck and Coverity were the two software where whatever the product they have, like all the product performances detail was coming into the Black Duck and Security as per the high, medium, and low performances, security licensing and operation wise. So that performance I have to show it to on my dashboard, into the Power BI. So I was getting the data from the Jira. So for that I was showing the weekly wise performance, how many tasks and done, how many is to do, how many is pending. So that way I was weekly wise trend chart I was showing, through the trend chart I was showing the weekly wise performances. And for the operation, security and the licensing risk, for the high, medium, low performance wise, I was using the stake bar chart for the Coverity and the Black Duck. So like that only they were having so many versions on that. So like same kind of the visuals they were making for the other version as well.
Okay. So, what are the apart from the HR, which business areas you work more on?
I worked into the healthcare project and the medical domain project I worked on.
Any sales, any inventory, manufacturing, anything?
Manufacturing sales data I have handled, sales data I have worked on the sales project. So like I was involved analyzing for visualization like sales data to gain valuable insight about the organization role for sales team, to understanding the requirement, to extracting the data or implementation. So my contribution was into the mainly into the visualization side.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, from the
So
beginning, excuse me.
yeah.
So, from the beginning, you are into analytics, Power BI, is it?
No, not from the beginning. I was into the analytics. I was working on the same company into the Excel data analyzing and all, like working on the data part as well. So my company asked me to learn these SQL and the Power BI as well. So it will be help me to grow in my career.
What is the actual experience you have with the Power BI, Meghna? Sorry.
My actual experience into Power BI is 5.8. I was not fully involved into the Power BI. I was handling all the part, but yeah, 5.8 I can say it. I do have the experience into the Power BI.
Okay, so let me reframe my question another way. So,
Mhm.
when I say Power BI, where you'll be getting the requirement from the business and then converting into the business specs and building the dashboards and giving training how to access the dashboard. So that kind of.
Okay, okay. So yeah, initially I was just my manager. We used to take the requirement and we do the transformation there. Initially, I was the part of the team. Then slowly, I was started handling the. I was initially we were having the Power BI team. Like 2 3 people were there who was working on the same report. Then slowly after 1 or 2 years I was started handling the single handedly the all the Power BI reports. So mostly into my last project I was the only person who was into the Power BI person who was taking the who was directly coordinating with the client and taking all the requirement. Initial phase or the major discussion, my manager was there into the discussion part, but the uh, directly coordination with the client or any kind of a requirement or any changes into the Power BI dashboard, my client was directly coordinating with me. My manager was into the CC, or if I do have any discussion on that, my manager was involved in that. But all the end to end like getting the requirement, or if there any changes or the um transformation and all, I was directly discussing with the client.
It was mute. I was on
Okay.
mute.
Okay.
So I'm saying, pick up one of the complex uh, requirement which in the past you developed some kind of a dashboard, and what was the business requirement, and how did you translated that business requirement to a dashboard? So what is that step one, step two, step three? So explain in detail, taking one of the complex dashboard.
I would not say there was the complex dashboard was there, because the understanding the business, it is a more complexity is there, like gathering the data. So my I worked on the my DBS, I worked on the HR project there. So the most complex part was the getting the data from the stakeholders. So I was getting the data from the different department. So so the data was not authentic. The HR was giving me different kind of a data. Operation team was giving me the different kind of data. So data was not sync with each other. So what I did, I have discussed with the team. So they were having the team there. So he was getting the data from the HR team, and the operation team, he was consolidated the data, then he was sharing the data with me. So so gathering the data was the most difficult
Yes.
part into that work, because the data was coming the reason was the attrition was data was there. So every department has a different kind of the reason for the attrition, and count was different. So that was very difficult for me. So they were not giving me the exact count. So what they did, they have allocated a one person for gathering the data from the all the all the department from their side only, and he was sharing me that data on a monthly basis. So so that data I was getting into the Excel format, and then I did the transformation according to the requirement, what is their requirement, who is going to see the data. Operation like operation team, if the operation team is there, so we have to provide a row level security there for the operation team into the visual, into the dashboard. And if the HR team or the other department was seeing the data, so according to that we have to make the changes. So my I was using the import mode there, and my data size was up to 50 to 60 60 MB. It was, and my project KPIs were attrition rate, retention rate, turnover cost, or average tenure, and top reason for the attrition department, and the team attrition, or the satisfaction of the interview exit, or analysis requirement, or such kind of the requirement was there for the KPI. And for that then I did the transformation into the power query. If we have an not usable table, so we have removed that. Then we have make the cardinality between the table, or the relationship was to one to many. Then we have made the visual, like most of the time it was um, uh, like it was a measure I have created for the KPIs, like a a female or male wise attrition. For that I have used a pie chart, and the total attrition for that particular month or the particular year, last year or current year. Trend chart I have used for the yearly wise or monthly wise attrition to show. So a trend chart I have used, and I have used it. I have used show the bar chart to show the tenure as well. So like which tenurity candidate are getting tried, like and their performance. Like what is the reason, and the male female ratio wise attrition also I have shown there into the dashboard.
Okay. Explain the difference between direct query and import mode in a Power BI. When would you choose one or the other?
I would choose import mode rather than direct query mode, because that like we can see the data table there, and we can see the data table there, a cardinality between the table we can see into the import mode. A direct query we have mostly I have used a SQL server that, so you can't see the table, you can't see the relationship between the table. Whatever the changes you have to do, you have to do it in the source file only. So this is the difference. Like if your data is up to 1 GB, so you can use the import mode. Or if the data size is the largest, so then you have to use a direct query mode. So I mostly worked on the import mode, and this is more efficient. Like your data, you can work on the import offline as well, and you can see the all the data sources and the data as well into your desktop only. So yeah, import mode is more effective than the direct query mode.
Okay. How would you optimize performance of a slow running Power BI report, which you have multi-complex visuals and you created this dashboard on top of a large data sets? So basically, how do you do that performance tuning?
Performance optimization, if you talk about the dashboard, what I'll do the performance optimization of the visual. Like there is a performance optimization button there into the Power BI desktop, so you can go there and you click on that, so you will see the timing, like how much time which visual is taking how much time to get loaded. So so what we can do, if some visual are we'll use those visual which is important, which we are using to show the data. Which is not important, that those data set we can remove. And we can use the direct query mode. Like if possible, we can use a direct query mode, so it will not use so much of space into your Power BI desktop. And will not use a like complicated custom visual there. So it will help us out to remove like help us out to optimize a Power Query. And we'll use the measure instead of calculated column, because calculated column uh, like use most space into the Power BI desktop. So
Okay.
this will help mostly.
Okay. So far, if you take your entire experience, 4 to 5 years of rich experience, so what are the number of dashboards you created approximately?
I have created like 50 to 20 dashboard, like 7 to 10 major project I have worked on, and created 50 to
Mhm.
20 dashboard. Like dashboards I have created multiple, like project I have worked on. Like if you talk about the my last project only, So it was only one project, but it between in there was like 10 to 15 dashboard and the project were there in between, like so many version was there. So your project can be one, like the client can be one, but the in between under that, so you have to handle the so many project. In the my last project there were the 10 to 15 uh, dashboard I was maintaining for the different version on the different product.
Okay.
Yeah.
So very often you'll be hearing about this. What is row level security and how do you implement that?
Row level
Have you
secure.
ever done that?
Yeah, I have done that. Row level security is where you can like you can provide the access according to the user according to the user use. Like you can divide the data. You can divide the data or the visual according to the department wise or country wide, user wise. So some chunk of data can be used for the different departments, some of the chunk data can be used for the different departments, so they both cannot see the each other data. So according to that, we you can provide a row level security. You can manage provide the managed role, provide the dex expression there, and according to that you can provide the row level security. uh, According to, you can define the role there into the Power BI desktop. So that way you can implement the role level security.
So apart from Power BI, do you have any at least a little knowledge on any other reporting tools?
Power BI, I have worked on SQL, Excel, and reporting tool. I have learned Python, but I have never got the chance to work on that. I have learned that Python, but yeah, I have no idea. Like it was just a certification, but never got the chance to work on that into the Python.
Okay. And what are the various sources you worked on, apart from the SQL?
I have sources I have worked on, like JSON file, Excel, Word file, and the PDF file I have used on that, and direct query mode I have also worked on.
Any uh, any cloud specific, Amazon?
Git I have used. Git cloud specific Git I have worked on. Like there was
Okay.
like pull request detail I have to maintain. I was having to maintain into the my in my last project I have used direct query mode there, and fetched the data from the Git and made the report. Like most of the transformation I have completed on my source file only, and then made the pull request detail, and the I don't remember the in detail specification, but yeah, get data I have like get data I have pull out from the direct source from the get data. So it was a cloud based. So from the Power BI services I connected through the data.
Okay, one other. This is not from technical perspective. Just while looking at your profile, so in your new company, yeah, it's not even hardly a year. So why you're looking for change? The current company, which it's not even completed a year there. Any
See,
specific reason?
scene was there. I was working I switched the company for the new project, for the new experiences where I can learn more things. But the most of the task was happened, like who was working previously me. So he has done most of the task. I have to, like task was coming very rare, like, so nothing was new to learn. So I was not like I was I was not getting so much of task there to do on. So hardly 1 or 2 hour work was there. So I it was good to work on that kind of work culture, and it was really good work culture on my previous company. But scene is I would not have anything to learn there, and the new project was not coming in very soon. So I have discussed with my project manager, and then resign.
Okay, attending from a mobile or a desktop
I'm
or a
attending
laptop?
I'm attending from my desktop.
Desktop. Okay.
Mm.
So in the chart, I just pasted one. Just go to chart. Can you see one image?
Uh, yeah,
Can you just expand it? Just click on that. It will expand you.
yeah.
Now let's say this is your one of the dashboard markup, where one of assume that I am your user and I'm saying I need to have a dashboard on accounts receivable overview. So this is the as it is format which I am looking at.
Hmm.
Now how do you go ahead and how do you start? Looking at this is your basic requirement of the report.
So these are the bar chart where like age analysis on due balance. There is a we need the age detail there, like the balance account receivable overview.
Yeah.
So overdue actual estimate cash inflow. Okay, top 10 customer by overdue amount. So we need a customer name balance column with due, overdue, due invoices above
No, no,
credit limit.
I'm
This is the
saying assume that I am your customer now. I'm given this requirement. How do you get started?
I
What is the first step immediately you will do?
okay. So I'll get the data from you, like which will be the data source from your side. I need to understand that, and this is the kind of a dashboard you want according to your requirement. So I'll ask for the I'll ask for the data from you, and whether whatever the source it will be the SQL or the Excel file. Then I'll do the transformation according to the requirement, what measure you want, what the analysis you want, what you want to see into the dashboard. According to that, I'll do all the transformation uh, into my Power BI desktop. Like if I want to remove some table, add some table, removing the null value, using any another calculated table or add table there. So I'll do the all the transformation there into my Power BI desktop. And if there is so many tables, then according to the primary or the foreign key, I'll create the cardinality between the table or create the relationship between the table. Mostly I'll try to initiate like star schema there. I'll prefer the star uh, schema there, uh, which is very efficient, and it will help us out to the performance optimization. It will not create any redundancy into the in future. So that's why I'll use a star schema there. And then according to that, into the balance like these are the measures there up above, uh, the balance within due and overdue. So these are the measures. So for that, I have to write the measure query, like measures there according to the data. And these are the bar chart, age analysis or due balance. And I'll create a, so that according to that bar chart, I'll fetch out the data according to the age, like how many number of the these are the balance amount, due balance amount. So uh, so uh, th- this data I have to fetch out into the bar chart. These are the bar chart, and this is the pie chart where we have to show the like North America, Europe, and Pacific. So according to that, we have to, and this is the country wise chart. This is the country wide like category wise the data we have to show. So so that country like country table I have to fetch out into the pie chart. And this is again the bar chart. This is again the bar chart where we can show the actual estimate cash inflow within 3 month forecast. So these three estimate reports we have to, this is the one table only, like actual receipt, estimated receipt or forecast receipt. So it will comes under the different category. So we can it will and we can do the transformation, like we can do the transformation there into the data label. We can change the colors of that according to our requirement. And the and these are the in the filter pan, these are the slicer into the country. We can put the country there, and there is a slicer below down. If we'll drop down there, there will come out the so many like country. So if we'll click on the country, the data will change according to the country wise. And below down there is another slicer, the city, and the name as city. So if we'll drop down, it will change the city wise data. And the credit sales versus balance due trend, this is the again the trend chart. X um, uh, into the x axis we can put the credit sales, and the y axis we can put the balance due trend. So and then we can put the trend chart, like it will show the trend wise data. And these are the data levels are coming now, so we can like open the data level button. So the data will show into the each of the pan. And this is the table chart. So there, according to your requirement, you can fetch out a table, you can create a table there. Table dashboard is table dashboard is there. So you can click on the table, like a table visual is there. So table visual you can click on, like you can fetch it out top 10 customers. So top 10 for the if you want a top 10 customer, you can into the filter pan, you can put the top 10 customer. You can do the changes as a top 10. You can do the changes into the filter pan. There is a button top 10 value, so the top 10 value will come. So these are the top 10 value will come, and you can fetch out a table, like table names there, column names there, according to customer balance, with due, overdue, and according to that the data will change. So this will I can make like.
Okay, so the same dashboard, approximately, let's say.
So maybe like it depend on the data wise, like how big is the data, what will be the transformation, if any redundancy is coming or not. So mostly if the data source is lower, so it will take hardly around 1 or 2 months, or maximum 4 months it will take to complete all the, like, till the publishing the data, like to the delivery to the client. Like maximum 4 months it will take, depend on the data requirement, or the like client coordination as well. Yeah. So it will not take much time. If the everything is there, it will take 1 or 2 months only to like perform.
Okay, now let's say you developed the report in a your desktop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And which is now you need to give access to the user in a production.
Okay.
So how is that, and where you are going to import this, and how do you give access to your user?
Into the Power BI services, you can provide the user access there into the manage role, into the above. Into if you go to the Power BI service, above there is access button, so you can provide the access to the user. So you can share the link as well. You can share the link and provide a like role there to who can view, who can be admin, who can participant or viewer. According to that, we can provide the user access there after publishing the data into the Power BI desktop. So into the Power BI services, you go there and provide the access to the end user by sharing the link.
Okay, that's it, and it was a pleasure talking to you. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer.
Okay, I got the JD, but still I wanted to know, like, what will be the JD actually? What will be the job role in that?
So basically, we have a couple of requirements. We are pretty strong in SAP analytics.
Okay.
So if you look at from SAP perspective, we have SAP BW as a data warehousing tool,
Okay.
and on top of that, usually there is a other other BI tool called SAC,
S
SAP Analytics Cloud, which is very much
SSIS.
similar to Power BI.
SSIS.
No, no, SSIS is the old one, right?
Okay.
SAP Analytics Cloud.
Okay.
Have you heard any time business objects
Yeah, business
reporting
object.
tools?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So when SAP acquired those business objects, slowly they got around 8 reporting tools. Now let's say we are going for ad hoc reporting, they used to go for WebI. If you are going for some kind of a dashboarding, we need to go for Excelsius, like that. Earlier it was a lot of confusion for the users and even developers. Then slowly 8 tools got pushed down to 4 to 2. Now it's 1. So any requirement, whether it's enterprise reporting, whether it's ad hoc reporting, whether it's formatted reporting
Mm-hmm.
or a dashboard requirements, anything. So it's SAC.
Okay.
So, but as the market is moving towards cloud, especially on Amazon side or Azure side,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm looking at the cost also. Power BI is a bit cheaper compared to any other reporting tool, and
Yeah.
which is a very flexi.
Yeah.
So that was the reason users are more interested going towards this Power BI, and we are looking some kind of a developer where they can directly interact with the user to collect the requirements and transform into the functional spec and start building the dashboard, start designing the dashboards in the system, and wherever it's required, you need to educate the customer, provide the end user training, and then give access to the users. So that's basically a typical developer role. And here, as this is not a big firm or something like a typical consulting IBM or Accenture, so it will be a very small team, and
Mm-hmm.
expectations would be where a developer can work independently and
Understood.
and deliver the results.
Understood. Yeah, that was my question. Thank you so much.
And do you have any other questions?
No, no. Thank you so much, Mahesh.
Thanks for your time and have a nice day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.